tell me, why do you support abolishing the death penalty here in Delaware?
My son was murdered almost 26 years ago, and ever since I've realized that there's no percentage in the death penalty, because families of victims wait for years and years and years for an execution that may never come. And if it does come, they always say, "Why don't I feel better?" And it's my conviction that we can move toward healing when we first begin to say, "I can't change the past, so it's time to look forward to the future, and how do I live again?" As a result, I wound up forgiving the person who killed my son, and he is a new person now, and so am I.
Is he on death row right now, the person who killed your son?
No, he's out of prison and doing very well. I spoke on his behalf before the parole board, and he was released early, and he's been working for a trucking firm in Connecticut, and he's a supervisor now and doing extremely well.
So you truly do believe that people can change and they should have that opportunity?
Absolutely, people change, and I'm convinced that victims can change if they'll recognize that the offenders can change. Victims can give up their hatred, their anger, and begin to heal.
Was that a hard and long process for you? At first, I'm sure you must have been furious and didn't even want to look at the man.
I was so angry at first, it was destroying me, and I realized that the more anger I had, the more I was likely to die emotionally, spiritually, and possibly even physically. So I finally decided that I had to do something, and I prayed, and God gave me the urge to put the past behind me and begin to live again, and as a result, I was able ultimately to forgive the offender.
Tell me, why do you support abolishing the death penalty here in Delaware?
I support repeal because the death penalty harms victims' family members. It keeps the focus on the killer. It makes family members have to sit through the gruesome details of the crime through years of appeals. It gives them a false promise that their pain is going to be healed by the death of another person. And in fact, in Delaware, many death sentences are reversed. So they don't get that promise in the end anyway.
Now, are you a family member of a victim as well?
Yes, my brother and 4 of his friends were murdered in Connecticut in 1995.
So when it first happened, I imagine you didn't feel this way. What changed?
Nothing changed about the way I felt about the death penalty. I was really immersed in my grief at the loss of my brother and the devastation of our entire community. What changed is how much I learned that the death penalty does not do what people think it does. It does not make us safer. It does not heal our grief. And it wastes tax dollars that could be used to prevent crime.
And what's your brother's name?
David Freilich.
Is his killer still behind bars, or is he free? Or
no, the death penalty was dropped. He received life without parole, and he ended up killing himself in prison.